Why are some Japanese cars sitting in repair shops while others run for 300,000 miles without issues? I'm about to shatter one of the biggest myths in the automotive world. That Toyota or Honda badge doesn't automatically guarantee reliability. Some Japanese models are actually mechanical nightmares that mechanics pray you won't buy. Today I'm exposing the Japanese cars that technicians warn their own families about, plus revealing the 5 models that truly deserve their bulletproof reputation. I've spent the last decade reviewing over 200 Japanese vehicles and interviewing master technicians who've worked on thousands. What I discovered will change how you shop for your next car. See that Mitsubishi Mirage over there? The owner just spent $4,000 fixing a transmission that should have lasted twice as long. Meanwhile, that 15-year-old RAV4 next to it just crossed 250,000 miles with nothing but oil changes. The difference between Japanese cars that last forever and those that'll drain your bank account isn't random luck. It's specific models and powertrains that either nailed it or failed spectacularly. Before you spend your hard-earned money on a Japanese vehicle, you need to know which ones deserve their reputation and which ones are riding on brand loyalty alone. The myth that all Japanese cars are reliable started for good reason. In the 80s and 90s, brands like Toyota and Honda revolutionized manufacturing with quality control that embarrassed American and European makers. But something changed around 2005. Japanese automakers faced intense pressure to cut costs while simultaneously developing new technologies. This created a perfect storm of reliability issues that many buyers don't discover until it's too late. Let me explain what happened. First, production shifted globally. That Nissan you're looking at, it might wear a Japanese badge, but it could be built in Thailand, Mexico, or Tennessee. Different factories, different quality standards, different suppliers, but the same logo on the hood. When we filmed the Toyota Corolla review, we discovered something fascinating. The Japanese-built models had far fewer issues than the Thai-built ones. Same car, same name, completely different reliability profiles. The second factor was the rush to adopt new technologies. CVT transmissions promised better fuel economy, but early versions from Nissan and Mitsubishi were reliability disasters. One mechanic told me he sees CVT failures as early as 60,000 miles. That's half the lifespan of a conventional automatic. Then there's the diesel experiment. Mazda and Subaru both tried to enter the diesel market with catastrophic results. Their diesel engines developed chronic issues with turbos, DPF systems, and fuel delivery. One Mazda specialist I interviewed said, "I would never let my family buy a Mazda diesel, period." But here's what most people miss. Maintenance matters more with modern Japanese cars than ever before. That bulletproof reputation from the 90s, it came from cars that could survive neglect. Today's Japanese vehicles are less forgiving. Take the Toyota 2.4-liter engine found in certain RAV4 and Camry models from 2006 to 2013. Without proper oil change intervals, they developed oil consumption issues that could lead to complete engine failure, yet Toyota's reputation remained untarnished. What's particularly deceptive is how resale values don't always reflect these reliability differences. That Nissan with the problematic CVT, it might only be 15% cheaper than the more reliable Honda with a conventional automatic, despite being twice as likely to need major repairs. This is why blindly trusting Japanese brands without knowing specific models is a recipe for expensive disappointment. In the next section, I'll reveal exactly which Japanese cars you should avoid at all costs, starting with the small cars and SUVs that mechanics see limping into their shops far too often. Let's start with the Mitsubishi Mirage, specifically the 2012 to 2021 models. This car might tempt you with its low price tag, but there's a reason it's cheap. The 1.2-liter 3-cylinder engine paired with that horrific CVT transmission creates what mechanics call a perfect storm of problems. One technician I interviewed called it arguably the worst new car you could buy when it was released. The CVT in these cars is particularly troublesome. Mitsubishi claimed they were maintenance-free, which turned out to be code for will fail catastrophically without warning. Most owners don't realize they need fluid changes every 30,000 miles to prevent failure. What's worse, Mitsubishi was going through serious economic challenges during this car's development, and it shows in every corner they cut. You're literally better off buying an older Yaris than a newer Mirage. At least the Yaris will start reliably every morning. Next up is the Nissan Tiida, which might be the most boring nothing car ever produced. But boring would be fine if it were reliable. The real issue is the bizarre engineering decision to double bush the entire subframe. When those bushings wear out, and they will, the whole suspension system starts floating around underneath you. One owner described it as driving on a waterbed during an earthquake. This creates a vague, disconnected feeling that's not just annoying. It's potentially dangerous in emergency maneuvers. And replacing those bushings? That'll cost you nearly as much as the car is worth at this point. Let's talk about Toyota for a moment. Yes, even the reliability king has its problems. The Yaris and Eco sedans from the early 2000s suffer from catastrophic paint failure. You've probably seen them driving around. White Toyotas with huge patches of paint peeling off in sheets. This isn't just cosmetic. Once the clear coat fails, the metal underneath starts corroding, especially around door edges and roof seams. Repainting these cars properly costs more than their market value, which is why so many owners just live with the embarrassment. There's even a Facebook group dedicated to owners of My White Toyota with the paint peeling off. That's not a joke. That's the actual group name. Finally, we have the bizarre Suzuki X90, a car that couldn't decide if it was an SUV, a sports car, or some kind of mutant convertible. Beyond its identity crisis, the X90 had serious stability issues. Consumer Reports famously demonstrated how easily it could flip during emergency maneuvers. Parts availability is another nightmare. If anything breaks on an X90 today, you're essentially hunting for unicorn tears. One owner told me he waited 6 months for a replacement door handle, only to have it arrive broken. Moving up in size, let's talk about the Mazda 3 diesel. On paper, it seemed promising. Mazda's fun-to-drive chassis with diesel efficiency. In reality, it's a mechanical disaster. The turbos are chronically problematic, failing as early as 60,000 miles. The pressure sensors fail constantly, triggering check engine lights that most dealers struggle to diagnose correctly. And the EGR systems clog up faster than a drain in a hair salon. One Mazda specialist I interviewed was brutally honest. Everything is problematic with these engines. Everything. He estimated that nearly 70% of the Mazda diesels he sees have had at least one major repair by 100,000 miles. Honda isn't immune to problems either. The Civic models with the 1.5-liter turbo engine suffer from a serious oil dilution issue. Fuel mixes with the oil during short trips, especially in cold weather, diluting it and reducing its lubricating properties. This can lead to premature engine wear that might not show up until after the warranty expires. Honda issued a software update to address this, but many technicians report the problem persists. One Honda Master Tech told me, "I check my oil level every week in winter." That should tell you something. The Mazda CX-5 diesel deserves special mention. It shares all the problems of the Mazda 3 diesel, but adds a particularly troublesome DPF system that can cost thousands to replace when it inevitably clogs. What's frustrating is that the petrol CX-5 is actually a fantastic vehicle, reliable, fun to drive, and well built. But the diesel version, avoid it like it's radioactive. One owner group survey found that 40% of CX-5 diesel owners had experienced a check engine light related to the emission system within the first 30,000 miles. Then there's the Nissan Juke with its CVT transmission. The early CVTs in these cars are ticking time bombs, especially if the previous owner skipped fluid changes, which Nissan originally and incorrectly claimed weren't necessary. Beyond the transmission, the Juke sacrifices practicality for its quirky styling. The rear visibility is atrocious, the back seats are cramped, and the cargo space is laughable for an SUV. One owner described it as all the disadvantages of a small car with none of the advantages of an SUV. In the larger vehicle category, the Nissan Pathfinder R52, 2012 to 2020, stands out as particularly problematic. Built in the United States rather than Japan, it feels old and tired even when new. The timing chain issues on the V6 are well documented, often failing catastrophically with little warning. The interior materials are cheap and brittle, with dashboard components cracking in hot climates. One automotive journalist who tested a brand new Pathfinder with just 13 kilometers on the odometer described it as horrible and questioned why anyone would buy this if they drove literally anything else in the segment. Toyota's foray into the EV market, the BZ4X, has been plagued with early production issues, most notably the wheel detachment problem that triggered a major recall. While Toyota has addressed these concerns, early adopters face significant inconvenience and safety risks. The Nissan Leaf's earlier generations suffer from battery degradation issues that severely impact range over time. In hot climates like Arizona or Texas, some owners reported losing up to 30% of their range within just 3 years. Without active thermal management for the battery, which competitors like Tesla included, the Leaf's battery pack was essentially designed to degrade faster than necessary. Unless you're looking at the latest generation with improved battery technology, earlier Leafs represent poor value on the used market. Finally, we have the Lexus SC430, a car that proves even luxury brands can miss the mark completely. Described by one automotive magazine as a sheep in sheep's clothing, the SC430 manages to be both expensive and underwhelming. Its styling has aged poorly. It was once voted the worst car of all time by Top Gear. Its performance is mediocre, and its supposed luxury credentials are undermined by a harsh ride and dated technology. Even Lexus enthusiasts tend to avoid this model, which says everything you need to know. Now that we've covered the Japanese cars to avoid, let's look at the flip side, the 5 Japanese models that truly deserve their stellar reputations and should be at the top of your shopping list. If you're looking for the perfect blend of practicality, efficiency, and reliability in a smaller package, the Toyota RAV4 Prime stands head and shoulders above the competition. Consumer Reports recently recognized it as a top pick for 2025, and for good reason. This isn't just another SUV. It's the culmination of Toyota's 25 years of hybrid technology development packaged in their most popular vehicle. What makes the RAV4 Prime special is its dual personality. With 42 miles of all-electric range, most daily commutes can be completed without using a drop of gas. But unlike pure electric vehicles, there's no range anxiety. When the battery depletes, it functions like a regular hybrid, delivering an impressive 38 miles per gallon combined. The reliability data is particularly compelling. Toyota's hybrid systems have proven to be more reliable than their conventional powertrains, with fewer moving parts to fail. The battery packs are warranted for 10 years, 150,000 miles, but many original Prius batteries are still performing well after 300,000 miles. One RAV4 Prime owner I interviewed, Sarah from Colorado, summed it up perfectly. "I've had mine for 2 years and 45,000 miles. I fill up maybe once a month despite driving daily, and I've had 0 issues beyond regular maintenance. It's the perfect car for someone who wants EV benefits without the limitations." The real-world ownership costs tell the story. While the initial purchase price is higher than the standard RAV4, federal tax incentives can offset much of the difference. Factor in the fuel savings. Owners report spending 60 to 70% less on fuel compared to conventional SUVs, and the total cost of ownership actually undercuts many cheaper vehicles. If you're shopping in this segment, the RAV4 Prime should be at the top of your list. It's the rare vehicle that excels in every category that matters to real-world owners. The Mazda CX-90 represents everything that's right about modern Japanese engineering when it's done properly. This is Mazda's flagship SUV, and they've poured all their expertise into creating something special. First, safety. The CX-90 earned the coveted IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus award, the highest possible safety rating. This isn't just about crash protection, it's about advanced driver assistance systems that help prevent accidents in the first place. Inside, the CX-90 offers a genuinely luxurious experience that rivals European vehicles costing $20,000 more. The materials, fit and finish, and attention to detail are exceptional. One automotive journalist noted that, blindfolded, you'd think you were sitting in an Audi or BMW. What's particularly impressive is the powertrain flexibility. You can choose between a turbocharged inline-6 or a plug-in hybrid system, both paired with a responsive 8-speed automatic transmission. Unlike some competitors that force you into a CVT, Mazda understands that driving enjoyment matters. The reliability projections for the CX-90 are strong, based on the component history. Mazda has consistently ranked near the top of reliability surveys from Consumer Reports and J.D. Power in recent years, often outperforming even Toyota and Honda. Michael, a CX-90 owner from Washington, told me, "After 3 European luxury SUVs that spent more time in the shop than on the road, I switched to the CX-90. It delivers 90% of the luxury experience with 10% of the headaches. The dealer experience is also night and day better. The long-term value proposition is compelling too. While Mazdas traditionally haven't held their value quite as well as Toyotas, the gap has narrowed significantly in recent years. The CX-90's premium positioning and strong feature set suggest it will buck the trend and maintain strong resale values. If you're shopping for a medium to large SUV and want something that feels special without the European maintenance headaches, the CX-90 deserves your attention." Sometimes the obvious choice is obvious for a reason. The Toyota Camry has been America's best-selling sedan for decades, and the latest generation shows exactly why this vehicle has earned its legendary status. The Camry consistently ranks at the top for reliability in its segment. In a recent Consumer Reports survey, it received a perfect 5 out of 5 reliability score, a rare achievement for any vehicle, regardless of price or country of origin. What many people don't realize is how much the Camry has evolved. No longer the boring appliance it was once derided as, the current model offers genuinely engaging handling, especially in the TRD and XSE trims, while maintaining the comfort that made it famous. The powertrain options are equally impressive. The standard 2.5-liter 4-cylinder delivers excellent fuel economy, up to 39 miles per gallon highway, while the available 3.5-liter V6 produces a robust 301 horsepower, more than many luxury sedans. The hybrid variant achieves an astounding 52 miles per gallon combined. James, a Camry owner from Texas who previously owned BMWs, shared, "I bought the Camry as a sensible car after getting tired of repair bills. 3 years in, I'm shocked by how much I enjoy driving it. It's comfortable, quick enough to be fun, and I've had literally 0 issues beyond oil changes." The ownership costs tell the story. According to Kelley Blue Book, the Camry has among the lowest 5-year cost of ownership in its class, combining reasonable maintenance costs with excellent fuel economy and strong resale value. Speaking of resale, few vehicles retain their value like a Camry. After 5 years, Camrys typically retain about 60% of their original value, significantly higher than the segment average of around 45%. In a market increasingly dominated by crossovers and SUVs, the Camry makes a compelling case for the traditional sedan. It's spacious, efficient, reliable, and increasingly enjoyable to drive. Everything most people actually need in a daily driver. When we talk about performance, we're not just measuring 0 to 60 times. Real-world performance is about how well a vehicle performs its intended function, and by that measure, the Honda CR-V Hybrid is exceptional. The latest generation CR-V Hybrid combines Honda's legendary reliability with a sophisticated 2-motor hybrid system that delivers both efficiency and a surprisingly engaging driving experience. With 204 combined horsepower and instant electric torque, the CR-V Hybrid actually accelerates more briskly than its gas-only counterpart. The system transitions seamlessly between electric and gas power, a refinement that took Honda years to perfect. Fuel economy is outstanding at 40 miles per gallon, city 35 miles per gallon highway, numbers that were unthinkable for a spacious SUV just a few years ago. But unlike some hybrids that achieve efficiency by feeling underpowered, the CR-V Hybrid actually feels more responsive than conventional alternatives. The interior is where the CR-V truly shines. Honda has mastered the art of space efficiency, creating a cabin that feels a class above in terms of roominess. The rear seats offer more legroom than some midsize SUVs, and the cargo area expands to a cavernous 76.5 cubic feet with the seats folded. Lisa, a CR-V Hybrid owner from Oregon, explained, "We replaced our Subaru with the CR-V Hybrid last year. It's just as capable in the snow with all-wheel drive, but we're saving about $1,200 annually on fuel. The interior is also noticeably more comfortable on long trips. Reliability data for the CR-V hybrid is extremely promising. Honda's hybrid system has proven durable in the Accord hybrid, and the CR-V shares many components. The battery is warranted for 8 years, 100,000 miles, but Honda hybrids have shown excellent battery longevity beyond those limits. If you're looking for a vehicle that performs exceptionally well at its intended purpose, efficiently transporting people and cargo in comfort, the CR-V hybrid deserves serious consideration. The Subaru Outback defies easy categorization, which is precisely what makes it special. Is it a wagon, an SUV, a crossover? Whatever you call it, the Outback delivers a unique combination of capabilities that has earned it a devoted following. Standard symmetrical all-wheel drive sets the Outback apart from most competitors. This isn't an afterthought AWD system added to a front-wheel drive platform. It's the core of the vehicle's design, providing genuine all-weather capability and surprising off-road prowess. With 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than many real SUVs, the Outback can venture places most wagons wouldn't dare. Yet it maintains the lower center of gravity and car-like handling that make it more enjoyable to drive on pavement than traditional SUVs. The interior strikes a perfect balance between luxury and durability. Higher trims feature high-quality leather, heated and ventilated seats, and an 11.6-inch vertical touchscreen, but everything is designed to withstand years of active lifestyle abuse. A luxury vehicle that doesn't mind getting dirty. Advanced safety features come standard, including Subaru's EyeSight driver assistance system. The Outback consistently earns top safety ratings from both NHTSA and IIHS, making it one of the safest vehicles on the road, regardless of price. Robert, an Outback owner from Colorado who previously owned a BMW X3, shared, "The Outback does 90% of what my X3 could do off-road, but it's more comfortable on long highway drives, gets better fuel economy, and costs about half as much to maintain. It's the perfect adventure vehicle that doesn't punish you in daily use." Ownership costs are another Outback strength. While purchase prices have crept up in recent years, maintenance remains reasonable, and Subarus are known for their longevity when properly maintained. The Boxer engine design does require more frequent attention to oil levels, but this is a small price to pay for the vehicle's capabilities. Resale value is exceptional. Subaru consistently ranks among the top brands for value retention, and the Outback is one of their strongest performers. After 5 years, Outbacks typically retain about 57% of their original value, well above the industry average. For those seeking adventure without compromising daily comfort, the Outback represents the perfect balance, a luxury vehicle that prioritizes capability over flash. Remember, the Mitsubishi Mirage, Mazda diesels, Nissan CVTs, and early Toyota EVs should be approached with extreme caution. Meanwhile, the RAV4 Prime, Mazda CX-90, Toyota Camry, Honda CR-V Hybrid, and Subaru Outback represent the best of what Japanese engineering has to offer. If you own one of the cars on my avoid list and haven't had issues, you're one of the lucky ones. Reliability is always about probabilities, not certainties. Some problematic models will run forever, while even the most reliable vehicles occasionally have issues. I'd love to hear your own experiences with Japanese cars. Have you owned any of these models? Did your experience match what I've shared today? Drop a comment below, and let's continue the conversation.